OPIN 002, September 13th, 2022. I'm here with Bill Sanford, Master of Newport Lodge, Newport, North Carolina, 28570. Hello, Bill. Say hello to the YouTube world.
Hello, YouTube world. Welcome to Newport Lodge, 706.
So, we're just going to have a conversation about Masonry, what you do, what brought you to Masonry. Don't be nervous. It's just you and me here. Here I got Bill has these chips. Can you see those? They're little poker chips, and he was Master of the Lodge at Cherry Point in 2018 and Master of Newport Lodge 2019 and 2022. What else are you involved in with Masonry? And
Well, I'm involved in the Blue Lodge, Cherry Point Lodge number 688. That's my home lodge. And Newport Lodge was actually the first lodge I visited on my very first stated communication after being raised. And then,
here?
Yep. And just came down visiting. I think there was a degree going on that night. And in fact, there was, because I got put on the canvas committee. And
Of course.
Yep. And I've been coming down to Newport ever since, and decided I'm going there. I might as well share some cash with them, and so I affiliated, and that got me where I am today. But
You've been doing a lot in Masonry.
yeah, I'm involved in York Rite. I'm a Knights Templar, Scottish Rite, and the Shrine, and AMD, the Allied Masonic Degrees, the Earl of Craven chapter.
Up in Newbern.
Yep.
And you had a fundraiser you worked with the other day?
Oh yeah, that was so the multiple sclerosis does a bike-a-thon. Everybody that rides bikes, like they're addicted to riding bikes, with the little slick suits and stuff like that. They raise a lot of money. We raised over $1.2 million this past weekend in Newbern. It happens the second weekend in September every year. It's called Bike MS Historic Newbern. And I've been volunteering for that this was my 23rd year. And I'm a ham radio operator, and so we lend those skills to the event, running a logistics net, a safety net, and a support net all at the same time for 2 days straight. And it's a lot of fun.
I think I want to go do that next year, absolutely. 50 miles.
Yeah? Oh, you want to ride it?
Yeah, I maybe have to work up to that.
Okay.
Work back up to that.
Or if you want to get your ham radio license, I can get you in on my side of it.
One thing at a time.
There you go.
One thing at a time. You've got some other stories about Masonry you want to share with us?
Stories. Well,
some major events.
My history. I knocked on the door and went. It was kind of funny, because now that I recollect it, the way it happened, I was trying to get somebody on the phone in a lodge near me, and that wasn't...
Lodge near me on an app, or is that an app?
Oh, no. I was just saying, I was calling a local lodge, and I wasn't getting anybody on the phone for a while. And so then I called down to Newport, and Ray answered the phone like right away. That's our secretary, Worship Brother Ray Thomas.
Who is in OPIN 001.
That's right. You guys did a good job with that. I hope I get a little bit close to that. And,
well, hopefully our sound is a little bit better. We're speaking up, speaking clearer, and we get some good information out of this guy.
I'll try and make sure I'm pronunciating a little bit louder.
And denunciate well, too.
Oh, okay.
So let's get down to something.
No, we need to tell everybody the truth.
Let's do that. Let's do truth,
Okay.
truth and love. Go ahead and tell the story.
Right. So I first met this guy in the Marine Corps back in 1993. And the last time I saw him was 1994 when he went home. And I stayed and retired. And so...
Do you know where I went home to?
I'm thinking Hawaii.
Yeah, that's Hawaii.
Yeah? Then I'm progressing in masonry and stuff, and I joined the York Rite. And one night, I'm sitting in the East, in the chapter degrees, I think it was. And I see this new guy, and he's sitting on the sidelines. And I'm like, man, this guy can't be. That guy went to Hawaii. And so then I said, hey, I got an empty chair. Do you want to fill it? And he said he would. So he's over there at the junior deacon spot. And I was progressing with the opening, and then I just had to stop the opening. And, hey, are you Michael Strump? And I believe your response was, sure am, Staff Sergeant. And so that was how I met him again. And he came to Newport Lodge one night, and he hasn't gone home since.
I received a very warm welcome. They gave me a card. I wish I had that. I could show you the card. And I filled a chair every time.
Yep.
Every time. And we kind of struggled there for a little while, where it was like amazing that somebody that hadn't shown up in a while would come, and we'd have just enough to open.
Yep.
And we always had enough food, and there was always a story. And why am I saying was?
Well, we've been a little bit more successful since then. But yeah, you didn't put up a fight or anything. You jumped right in, and now he's a senior deacon and doing well, getting ready to hopefully be the next junior warden.
Is that campaigning?
No. Just,
I guess there's always the
just
hope.
hoping the chairs progress.
I mean, that's
because we haven't been, to be honest, we haven't had the personnel available to have the chairs full and to be able to rotate in progression probably the whole time I've been here until this year. All the chairs are full, and everybody's going to move up, I hope.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to
Me
it.
too.
We're getting new members that are excited, and it's it don't say exciting again, but we are having fun, and we've really made a move to the community and the well-being of our members, the members that maybe don't get out. We want to come see you. We want to give you an opportunity to do an interview, to sit where Bill's sitting or sit where I'm sitting. You interview me, we can do whatever. We just want to speak the truth in love and be a part of the lives of the people that are supposed to be our brothers. And I mean, I've got a real passion. Bill says he appreciates it, so...
Yeah, Brother Michael and Brother Chad Hansen came to me, Doc, and brought this idea up about doing the, video blogging, I guess is the word, life history of our members. I think that's a great idea, and encourage it all the way.
Well, so this year we've had a couple members pass. I've gone to a couple funerals. There's probably several, and you would go to a memorial for these awesome. I mean, I'd like to videotape these memorials. They're inspirational. The lives of these people that have impacted, their families and everyone. I mean, these places are crowded with these Masons, and I'm like, I could have interviewed that guy.
No, none of the last one we went to. I did not know the gentleman,
Yeah.
and people had told me that he hadn't been around in a long time. But his kids, every one of his kids, said that's all Dad talked about was being a Mason.
Wow.
So the whole lives that they were growing up, he was always speaking about us. And I don't know why he wasn't able to come to lodge. You never know what people's circumstance is. His job might have kept him on the road or something, you know. But the fact that he kept speaking of us the whole time really, I think, spoke a lot for someone that I did not know.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been 5 years. I've been a Mason, and I've been to more funerals than that. Let me tell you. But
See, I don't have much more time than you.
As a Mason?
Yeah, I started in 2012.
Well, that's 5 more years.
Okay, that's not much more time. Especially getting as old as we are.
It's twice.
Yeah.
I guess the older you get, the less it matters. But very moving funerals, and they would always say, you know, we would have more people interested in Masonry, the more, you know, funerals that you would go to, and that happens, and that does happen because it is moving and it is, you know, inspirational. But we have to live it, and how much, you know, I don't know. I hope he had visitors from his lodge. I'm sure he did, and that's kind of what main reason we want to get out there is visit these brothers that don't have anyone, that maybe no one that's visiting them, and that would be a shame. That would be a shame.
And I think this project that you guys are doing will go a long way to bridging that gap.
I want to do a couple a week.
We also sponsored the Little League baseball this past year.
Yeah, we've got a little.
We got a sign over there at the ball field right across the street from us, downtown Newport. We got a garage sale we're working on. Don't know the date on that yet, because you know we got to collect things.
I guess accepting donations. If you live near Newport, North Carolina.
So the poker chip that he showed you earlier, I did that with another, I guess, classmate, I'll call it, because he's a master at the same time I'm a master. So it's Jerry Dutton up at Cherry Point. This is Jerry's coin.
Oh yeah, show that.
Poker chip.
I like this side. I want to get one like that. Can you read that?
What, the side?
No,
the other side.
The other side.
Well, I got to turn it back around. So it says discreet, diligent, prudent, temperate, discreet. And from the closing charge. And
the part I leave out all the time.
so we got, it is.
I'm going to get one just like that.
So we weren't the originators of this idea. We kind of borrowed it from the Knights of Solomon chapter that came and visited Cherry Point and held their lodge up there for one of their meetings. Do you know they only meet 4 times a year?
The Knights of
Knights
Solomon.
of Solomon, motorcycle.
That's the motorcycle
related guys. Yep. And they passed out their coins, and I was like, well, that's pretty neat. But Newport Lodge, we're getting ready to do a coin because we have a anniversary coming up.
70 years.
70 years. So we're wanting to get these coins done up and available prior to the anniversary year and during the year. So be on the lookout for that.
Hey, maybe we could do a goal of the 100 interviews by the 70th anniversary.
That'd be a good goal to set.
I mean, in a year, that would be kind of hard, but the 70th anniversary will be on 26.
Yep. Yep, 2026.
I can do more than 100 by then.
Well, it's still a good goal to have.
It
So,
is.
You spoke it. It's in
Okay,
stone.
what else? Yeah, don't mention anything, then you're automatically running it. That's your baby, go with it. I guess a lot of places are like that. So what else would you care to talk about with the folks? What would you like to say about Masonry? I mean, you gave a little bit of history. We usually don't do 2 takes. I don't remember what you already said.
Well, it's been a godsend to me. I like the challenge of being a Mason in both the way I walk. I like the challenge of the memory work.
Better than Sudoku.
I like I like helping you guys learn, and I've been told I'm good at it. I don't know if I am or not.
They
but
do the same. They said the same thing about me with the coaching, and it was the best thing I'd ever done. It was a challenge, and then it was an accomplishment, and then they said I did a good job, and I'm like, oh, okay. It was, and
in fact, I think I'm the one that's proclaimed all your examinations satisfactory.
Oh, satisfactory. So
no, you have done a
bias.
good job with that.
Well, Doc really was the star. I mean, I don't.
He is pretty good at memorizing stuff pretty quick.
He is good, but I got to work with him. He needs to be worked with. He's got it. We had a good rhythm to go through the things. We met every twice a week, and
yep, got his proficiency card done real quick. He's temporarily sitting in a chair, helping us out, and he's learning that chair. He's doing a good job there, and he's going to turn out all right. He's got a lot of eagerness for the craft, and brotherhood. I know, especially from his Navy background and working with the teams and stuff, brotherhood means a big thing to him, and in more ways than one. So,
you want to talk about your time in the Marine Corps, deployments?
Well,
Da Nang?
I deployed a lot. I didn't mind deploying because I was single most of my career. Did a lot of Japan deployments early on when I was in the A6 intruder aircraft squadrons, Harrier squadrons. Then I switched over and started doing floats over to the Mediterranean, and that's where I started seeing symbols in France and stuff like that on the buildings, and I would follow. It was almost like a path, and this one village, I remember. This old man asked me if I was a traveling man. I didn't know what that meant then. Yeah, and I said, yeah, we're traveling. We just pulled in down at the port. And he was like, yeah, have a nice day, guy.
And later you figured it out.
Yeah, much later. And but that got me interested in it. I read a book that was very meaningful to me. It's called Hiram's Key. Very, very thought-provoking in a lot of ways. And I've read it 3 times. And they just published a addendum to the book, and I haven't read that yet, but I have it. But did a lot of deployments all around the world. Enjoyed all of them. There's sometimes we work the hardest and probably in the ugliest conditions on the planet, but you don't remember the bad times later on. So
that's a good way to be.
But, yep, I joined in 1980, retired in 2000, went to work for the government again soon after that, working on the V-22 program, which is what I was doing in the Marine Corps as well. And I'm getting ready to retire from that aspect of it. So it'll be almost 45 years of federal service. So I think I'm done.
It sounds good. Sounds like a plan. You ever thought about just getting an RV and traveling across the world, or the United States, Canada, Mexico?
Yeah, I've done a little bit of it on motorcycle. I wouldn't mind doing some more. I think my wife's new plan is to follow the grandkids around.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
I've got a three grandsons now.
I didn't know that.
Well, last time we spoke, it was only one, but now I have three. The niece, my Renata's niece, she has two boys. Just had a baby. He's in the Marine Corps, up for re-enlistment. We talked about his re-enlistment. Tell me, it's worse than it used to be. I think it's worse. But anyway, they said I could be their grandfather. I don't know if that's more financial responsibility, but I just wanted to be called grandfather. What do you think? You gonna get the grandfather look?
You might.
Well, I don't want to be, creepy Uncle Trevor. I want to be grandfather.
I don't know, with those Quasimodo looks you always give in the photographs, you might fit that role.
So,
too.
is your wife riding motorcycles?
No, she doesn't want anything to do with it.
Well,
all right,
I mean, I've thought about it, motorcycle. And then I started just telling people I've got to wait until my mother dies before I can get a motorcycle.
She didn't want you to have one?
No, she said, promise me, and I'm like, oh, all right.
But that promise doesn't extend past that?
To the dead?
It's got a expiration date, or doesn't have an expiration date?
Well, no, I think I clarified
okay.
with her. As long as you're alive, I will not own a motorcycle.
Well, hopefully she lives a long time and you're a motorcyclist.
That'd be good. But you're
Probably.
an enthusiast.
Yes. I like it.
No.
I don't know.
It's not for everybody.
No. I've owned a Yamaha way back in the days. Dirt bikes when I was growing up.
Yeah, I never did that.
Triumph. Owned a Triumph. I really liked that company.
I had a TR6.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to get an Indian motorcycle. I thought that would be the best one to get.
You have to be rich to get an Indian nowadays.
Well,
I'll have to borrow some of your money to do that.
Sig Sauer. That's all. I'm a Cadillac kind of guy. But what else we got? You want to talk about one other thing?
I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah, there you go.
What is historical significant events? What is the earliest you remember something happening, and what was it?
Kennedy assassination.
You remember that? Which one?
JFK.
You weren't born then.
No, but that's the first one I heard about.
Oh, okay.
My dad's really into History Channel.
Oh, okay. No,
And-
I probably should have clarified that a little bit. One that you personally remember, but I remember the JFK. I was 3 years old, and I remember sitting in my grandfather's chair, watching all that was happening with the funeral and stuff like that back then.
The first one that I would say that really hit me, like you remember where you were the day, would have been Space Shuttle Challenger.
Oh, where were you?
I was in high school, a junior in high school.
Wow.
And I was going from one class to a PE class. And then someone said something to me, and then everybody went in to watch it on TV over and over. And I kind of remember like I was watching it for the first time. When I was watching it, it blew up, and they said, we have a malfunction, and they were all calm. And I'm like, what? Why are they so calm? These people just die. And as a kid, it was just all completely calm, and I'm like, well, that's NASA. They're
Yeah, I remember seeing
professional.
the shots of the parents of the teacher, and and they were just, I don't know, maybe they were just in shock immediately like that. But I remember where I was when that happened. I was deployed to 29 Palms, California, out there at CAX, C-A-X. I was with BMA AW 224, the Bengals, and we had a flight of airplanes getting ready to go out that morning, and we had a small TV that was in maintenance control. And, you know, it's a little metal shack. I'm sure you've deployed out there, right?
No.
No? And you missed all the fun.
Yeah.
And so that launch was getting ready to go on, so the pilots even delayed walking to the aircraft, you know, to watch it, and then, boom, that happened.
Yeah, that's incredible.
But, and then I remember years later, I was out at 29 Palms another time. Spent a lot of time out there. When the Hale-Bopp comet was coming by, and that was like a big deal. And I'm really big into astrophotography, and so that kind of stuff interests me. And you're out in the desert, so you know you have no light pollution.
Yeah.
And man, you could see it just like it was looking at the moon, and it was really neat.
You like all that cosmic stuff?
Yeah, I like looking at it. Kind of neat. The first time you see yourself, not out of a photograph or something on TV or something like that, but to look through the scope and see the planet.
What planet?
Well, anyone you want to pick. So I've done a good study of Jupiter, Saturn, Mars. Mars is it's really small, so you don't really get good pictures out of it. But a lot of the nebulae, all the clouds out in space.
I've got people that are just dying for me to say Uranus.
I've never seen that. Neptune, I've seen Neptune through a scope, and in fact they just.
Let's talk about Pluto.
Okay.
Let's talk about what
it's
happened.
A planet.
Is it a planet again?
Well, I think it's a planet. It was a planet my whole life.
Yes, my whole life too. But then somebody came along and said it's a planetoid.
Yep. But then the spaceship went by it, took all those beautiful photographs of it.
Yeah,
it's a planet.
So you
I mean, they talk about they give a name Planet 9, right?
Oh, and that's
supposedly this mysterious planet that floats all over the place.
That's a moon or a comet or something.
I have no idea. It's probably some big rock in the asteroid belt, you know.
But it gets planet status?
Well, they call it Planet 9. I don't know if it's officially, but you'd never see it.
Well, the point is that people keep changing history.
Yeah, that is true, and all kinds of stuff.
They keep changing history.
And I know you pay attention to all that stuff in hard ways.
Well, I just try to make sense of it, a way a child could understand it. Because I've got quite a few kids, and I just like people to be educated and not believe, just everything you hear, but investigate it. And it's hard to find. Like, you go on the internet, like I just went to look up a couple things you probably don't want me to mention, but you can find opposite definitions depending on who's
speaking,
who's interpreting it. And I find that very interesting. I'm like, well, what is the truth? And originally I wanted truth. I wanted to speak the truth in love, and have it, raw to where it would be appealing. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
And I mean, we all have struggles. We all go through things. But then I guess we just need to find out what the next right thing to do is for us.
Well, it takes any kind of enjoyment out of all the things that's happened in the country and around the world too, but more so in the country. It takes the joy and relaxation out of almost everything in daily life, because you got to literally stay away from the TV, stay away from anything on your phones or your computers to be immune from that stuff. But now all that craziness is coming at home. Look at all the bad things that's happened here locally.
Really?
Recently, the shootings and the stabbings.
Locally?
Oh yeah.
Well, how local?
Huh?
How local? Oh, down east?
Down east,
Well,
Jacksonville.
I mean, yeah. Well,
Havelock.
that's just right up the road.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is, to me, the truth is that it's stemming from this negative political media that's
Exactly.
pushing fear and hopelessness.
And at the same time promotes violence, big time violence by certain groups, and blessing it off as justified, and then blaming the people that aren't violent as being the ones that are violent. They've been doing that a lot the last couple days, last week, from the president on down, fighting that on TV. But now we're getting into politics. I don't want to do that.
All right, that's all about that. Subscribe, click down below. Any comment at all? What did they used to say in the Corps? Questions, comments, complaints.
Yep.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, you spoke a lot when I would do that.
I was always like, hey,
Okay.
I got a comment for you.
Yeah.
All right. This is
You kept
Michael
me busy.
and Bill, OPIN 002.
Newport Lodge 706.
And come and see us
Come see
anytime.
us. That's right.
God bless.
God
God bless
bless.
America.